So good evening, students. Today, this is I think 38th or 39th day of our uh, Srijan social internship, and good to see that we moved to seventh week of Srijan social internship. Slowly, we are heading towards our team moving tournament, and I'm happy that I'm also completing each and every policy which was listed in that for the 2022. Today, we will be discussing more about the Olympics and how good the Olympic was for India, uh, the budget allocation of that particular Olympic, and some rationalization about Olympics and all. So just request Khushi to uh, start our presentation, share our presentation here. What we will do is mm, we will go through firstly the achievements. What were the biggest, of course, applauds or achievements in terms of in terms of uh, Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and then we will move on to the discussion that is the budget allocation on 2021 or 2022 or even the previous 5 years budget. How exactly this budget has been allotted through different ministries to different departments for Olympic or even for the sports also. Uh, Request Khushi to open this link first, the top link. Just zoom it. What I did is needless, needless to say that this particular Olympic was, of course, good also, bad also, ugly also. It has to be. We did some good. Uh, we have some good achievements in hand. We did some good. Uh, there are certain sports which were not at all recognized, and due to this, Tokyo or during this 2021 Olympics, that is Tokyo, um, some of the new avenues have been opened up for sports personalities and sports person, and that is why good, bad, ugly, of course, all is summed up as an Indian Olympic. So 2021. This is the link which is saying all about how it happened actually for India. That is 2021. A Sports Kida uh, e-magazine is there, of course. They keep on sharing about sports, and they have summed up each and everything about Indian Olympics, and that is why I have taken this here. So need not to go here and there and collect all the data and then reflect it. So it's good that they are having this particular data on Indian Olympics. Keep scrolling, of course, so that and zoom it. Can you zoom this one? Some more. India finished to Tokyo Olympics with one gold, two silver, and four bronze. It means total seven medals we have in our hand. And we kick-started with Mirabai Chiru, silver medal in weightlifting on the first day, and concluded with a gold medal in javelin throw. That is by Mr. Neeraj Chopra. Day one was Mirabai Chanu, and day 15 was uh, Neera, Neeraj Chopra. And this is how within 15 days of journey, uh, these two pictures are uh, saying that what emotions keeps on going, how stronger or how togetherness India is whenever we are talking about the achievements of our Indians. Move to the next. Apart from this, that is weightlifting and javelin throw, there were five other medal winning performance in between. Lovlina Burgoyne won a bronze medal in boxing. PV Sandhu earned another in women's singles badminton. The men's hockey team returned with the first Olympic medal in 41 years, in the gap of course, 41 years. Of course, earlier, somewhere since 1938 to 1945 or now 46, continuously we were winning uh, Olympic gold also and other golds also for hockey. But it is since last uh, 41 years back we won this particular medal uh, for Olympic, that is hockey. And wrestler Ravi Kumar and Bajrang Punia, two won silver and bronze. So this is in a nutshell the seven winners. Details about the what types of sports event in which we won. It's not only that we are talking only about the seven medals whenever we are talking about Olympic. There are certain good things actually which came across during this particular journey of 15 days Olympic. With seven medals overall, Tokyo one Tokyo 2021 was India's best ever Olympic campaign. It also stood out for two historic firsts. PV Sindhu became the first Indian woman to clinch multiple medals at Olympic as she followed her Rio silver with the bronze in Tokyo. And Neeraj Chopra etched his name in the history book with gold in men's javelin throw, the country's first medal from athletics. So, uh, and very good thing is previously Rio de Janeiro Olympic, uh, PV Sandhu did the miracle, and this was done on the last days of that particular Olympic, and likewise it happened uh, in this Olympic also. In last 3 days or 4 days, PV Sandhu did this particular act, and he got this bronze medal. And likewise, Neeraj Chopra did in the final day, of course. So medal winning moments aside, India has another high level highs as well. No Olympic story is even complete without takeoff near misses. Means we were about to win, or we were nowhere actually in that picture or in that particular scene, or for that particular format or for that particular sports. But due to this Olympic era, that is 2020 Olympic era, India got some of the recognition in different sports. With the event coming to close, it is a time to reflect on the good, the bad, and the ugly of India's Tokyo. The movement don't conclude Indian medals. What was the good? Please go in. The good was Indian hockey team, that is female hockey team, women hockey team. Of course, they were not on the top three, but they finished top four. And this was, of course, a very highlighted moment for Indian women hockey championship. Actually, no one was actually looking out that they are going to win. And again, on the brink of elimination after three straight losses in the pool stages, uh, no one was actually in thought of that India will go on, uh, go to the quarterfinals and fight for the quarterfinals, and then came or even uh, mm, 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 beat this Australian also, and then came uh, fight in during the semi-final match, and then they will lost against Argentina and became fourth country in that particular list. So it was heartening, of course, when they lost that particular match. But it looks that now the hockey, the women hockey, is also in the same format or in the same strength, or they have the same enthusiasm which men hockey is actually. And we are talking more about men hockey whenever we are talking about hockey in India. So this also gets acknowledgement across, of course, Indians. And two more sports which came into recognition. These sports were, one is the golf. Before this, a 23-year-old Aditi Ashok, she was almost uh, going to win that particular medal. Of course, she was a runner-up, not the runner-up, runner-up for that quarter final, semi-final, but she didn't reach to the top and she didn't won that any of the medal. But Aditi finished fourth in the women's individual stroke play and missed out a medal by a whisker. However, she pushed New Zealand's Ladia Ko to the limits and made India learn the basics of golf. This is how Indian woman, Indian girl, of course, exhibited across globe that okay, we too can play the golf and like other countries. And India is not only the country where we are playing only the cricket or we are playing only the hockey. And Indian ladies and Indian women too are actually following the sports uh, very dearly and nearly. So moving to the next, of course, this is Indian hockey team, again the Indian golf, and then comes a surprise package for us. What was the surprise package? Move to the next. We never thought of that India will actually. India is a country where, wait a while. India is a country where people usually go with odd type of sports, and fencing is one such sport actually. We never have picked up this thing, and our people are not at all interested in this. But the credit goes to Bhavni Devi, India's first fencer to qualify for the games. India is the this is the very first time that any of the sports personality, any of the sports women, of course, is participating and qualified for this particular sport, that is fencing. She did well to win India's first ever fencing match at the event. Bhavni Devi was eventually knocked out, but not before she set new benchmark for the sport in the country. Why we are saying that she set a benchmark? Because this is the very first instance that a girl or any of the representative from India, of course, is playing this particular sports, and that is why it becomes a benchmark for all of us. Lastly, on the final day, uh, Neeraj Chopra won the gold medal by uh, by javelin throw. But some of the events were delivered by Avnash Sable, Kamalpreet Kaur during 4x4 relay team. Avnash Sable failed to qualify for the final of the men's 300 meters step race, clocked 8 is to 18 is to 12 in the quarters, qualifier to better his own record, that is country's record of 8:20:20. Kamalpreet Kaur qualified for the final of the women's discus throw and finished sixth. Of course, she was there. She was fighting among all the final people or final sports people, but did not make it to the any of the medal. The men's 4x4 relay team, comprising of Anas Mohammed, Nirmal No, or Kia Rajiv, Amos Jacob set a new Asian record with a time of 3002 point uh, during the qualifying heat. So this was some good actually achievements we are talking about. And why we are talking about these achievements? These players were actually playing not in our turf, not in our place, or not in our local stadium. They were playing in international stadiums, and they even beat their national records of their own. So that is why we are saying that okay, we although we didn't get the awards or we didn't get the medals, but we performed well in foreign turf also. Move to the next. Bad of India's Tokyo campaign, archery team. We have a good archery team in India, and they are coming up with so many medals across globe. But this time, no of none of the archer actually uh, came up with any of the medal, and that is one of the failure, of course, we can say. Likewise, move to the next. In even for weightlifting also, uh, uh, Amit Panghal, the world number one in weight category, was lackluster in his only bout at the Olympics. With his talent, he could have done much better. India hoped Mary Kom would win a medal from what could be her last Olympic, but she lost to a younger and superior opponent in the semi-final. Although India sent a contingent of 9 boxers, only one of them returned with a medal. It's safe to say that the world did not feel the power in the punches of our boxers in Tokyo. So nine were participating, and only one came as an surprise because or with one of the gold or one with one of the medal. So move to the next. this is some of the uh, move to next. I feel this is going to end up ugly of India's Tokyo Olympic campaign. Move to next. India's inability to bag a medal from a shooting event was perhaps its biggest disappointment. For archery and shooting, we are expecting more actually, always. 15 shooters were representing our country across 10 events in Tokyo. The squad was good mix of youth and experience, but we didn't get anything out of that. Likewise, wrestler Vinesh Phogat's journey from Rio to Tokyo was awe-inspiring, but not seeing to it cultivate with any of the medal. It was unpleasant for all of us to see actually and to hear. Move to next. We spent some good amount of money actually when we are sending sports personality for participating in these. And if they are not coming up with any of the medals or if they are not coming up with uh, such awards, it actually hurts. Move to go to down. I think this is going to end up. Wait. Just wait a while. The uniqueness of any Olympic cycle becomes evident. One ends and a fresh one starts. 1097 days to Paris 2024. So just foreseeing, foresighting that India will do well uh, in Paris 2024 Olympics. This actually details are ending up with that actually. Close it. Okay. Now my question to you all first. Khushi, for a while you can close it here. Why, why being a younger country or younger most country with good population, we are not able to perform in Olympics? Why it is so? Would be happy to listen reasons on this.
So basically, the main reason is in India. So within India, if the person wants to represent his state, so he has to face a lot of competition for representing his state only, sir. So many people also get frustrated because they see that how that tough competition is going on. It is easy to become IS instead of becoming sportsman in India. So basically, a little much of frustration is there among the players when they are preparing for the state level, and majority of time people leave their sport at that time only, sir.
Hmm. Maybe one of this reason that people are not getting recognition or they are not getting opportunity to actually participate uh, at national forums and national regions. Other reasons?
Sir, lack of support from the parents, and some people are not having financial capability to play a particular sport. So these are also reasons, sir.
See, we have uh, two set of people or two types of people in India. One set of people, they are having facilities, they are privileged, they are having money in their hand, but they still don't want to actually their make their kids to actually go for these types of sports event also. And we have a second set of people where if people are interested, students are interested to participate, but they don't have a money in hand. They don't have an infrastructure to support it. They don't have schools. They don't have all those facilities which is required or which are required uh, for those sports. And that is why the mixed reasons are this. Any other reason from you, from your end?
So biased opinion while selecting sportsperson for going for Olympics.
Yes, one can say. Uh, I can give you one simple example. Whenever you see the India is a country where cricket has been actually highly, uh, highly, highly talk of the town. We keep on talking more about cricket. But if you see the number of players, the new players coming in or joining in are very few. If you take the example itself, how many years Sachin Tendulkar was there in India for sports, or how many years he was actually we were talking about him. somewhere down the line 20 to 24 years we were talking. Likewise, previously we were talking about Sunil Gavaskar or Kapil Dev. Then comes Virat Kohli for last 10 years or 12 years or so. So there is a system which is actually not supporting other sports personalities to come in, uh, give them space, participate actively, and give them recognition too. So this can be one prime reason, that is why other sports person or other interested sports personalities are not coming up. Any other reason?
Sir, no recognition from society. Sir, as we see during lockdown times, many of the medalists were selling fruits or doing something like vendors, and they were not getting any financial support.
Yeah, it is always there that these people are not getting financial support. Rural area people, they are good in certain sports, and because of the lack of the finance, they are not participating. Any other reason? Okay, this is as per that they are not participating. Okay, any other reason? If people are participating, we have good numbers. If you take the case of this thing, our Tokyo Olympic itself, we were having good number of archery team or shooting team, but still they were not able to perform. What was that? Why it is so? Any, do you know why it is so? We have a team member. We have a team members. They have been trained in that, but still they we are not getting those number of medals which we are actually forecasting, or which government is proposing. Why it is so? Suppose I am sending 15 members of squad for the in Olympic, and no one is coming with any of the award, that is medal. What can be the reason for that?
Sir,
Sir,
one is
lack of
obviously
motivation among players.
yes, sir. Other teams, other countries' teams can have better players or better resources to train.
Better players or better resources to play.
Sir, I think
How?
in other countries, such importance to sports has been given, but in India, sir, we give importance, but not at that much as they do. They
Huh.
motivate each of the players. And sir, when we see, sir, China, the China in childhood only, sir, they define sir, they categorize the children in their specific skills they are into or they like.
Got
Sir,
it. You all are saying, and for all this to happen, what is required to motivate, to resource, or to start from early age? What is required? What is the early
the
requirement or
so early
essential
requirement
requirement?
is that we have to build proper institute for it.
Huh. And it requires,
So financial budget for
A
it.
financial
huh,
budget and sir, a ministry also for thing. I think
it,
sir.
it requires funding, funding from ministries. It requires fund. So next discussion is that only, that in spite of actually spending huge amount, of course, it's, if you compare it with other countries, it is very less. It is, I think, four times lesser than, if you compare with UK, it is four times lesser than UK. If you compare with US, China, it is somewhere eight times or nine times lesser than that, because our fund allocation or budget allocation for sports is very, very, very minimal as compared to other countries. Why it is minimal? Firstly, we are not focusing on infrastructure development. Secondly, we are not focusing on making uh, good players. Of course, we are focusing more towards making committee members or organizations or otherwise, but more focused, our expenditure is not focused towards making players. Our focus is more towards uh, uh, creating a ecosystem or creating a institutional bodies for that. Um, why I'm saying this? Because I can actually give you the reason on this. Khushi just opened that presentation here. See, whenever we are saying or this discussion is coming up, uh, the discussion comes and stops here itself that what is the budget allocation for sports in India? And if you see, uh, when we were in the verge of attending this particular Olympic, or we were going to participate in this Olympic, what Indian government did is government cut sports budget by 230 crores in an Olympic year. India is going to participate in Olympic year, and we are curtailing or we are uh, uh, putting our budget down in that particular specific year. I'm talking about when union budget of India, that is in year 2021-22, was declared, or the budget allocation for sports was 2,596 crores, and it was lesser by 2030.78 crore, or 8.16% as compared to the previous one. Or if you compare to the very next year, of course, if you compare it with 2021-23, a entirely different scenario was there. So somewhere down the line, uh, mm, when it was required, we have curtailed our budget. Out of the total allocated budget, 2549 crore has been earmarked as revenue budget that sports department for use of basic expenses such as salaries of employees, while rupees 46.73 has been spent aside for capital in expenses that includes construction of facilities, new stadium, etc. So compare it. Just compare the allocation. Government has allocated 2596. What we are doing? 2549 we are earmarking for basic expenses such as salaries of the employees. Only 46.73 crore has been set aside for capital expense, that is construction of facilities or new stadium. It is it is very much minimal what has been allocated. The allocation for basic expenses is rupees 226.49 crore, less than last fiscal year. Rupees 2,775.90 crore in the last fiscal year. The amount for capital expenses is 4.29 crore, down from rupees 51.0 crore. So again, there is a reduction on capital expenses also for infrastructure development. The central government has allocated Atma Bharat package totaling 20 lakh crore to various sectors this year to deal with economic impact of COVID-19, and because of this COVID-19, this expenditure was crushed. The fallout of this, coupled with the fact that a chunk of budget allocated for the sports 2021 fiscal had not been used due to pandemic, freezing majority of sports calendar last year, could be a reason for allocation of budget department being slashed. They have given the reason that okay, because of the pandemic, so many events were not happening, so many activities were not happening, and that is why we are actually slashing this particular budget. The Sports Authority of India has been allotted 660.41 crore, which is an increase from 550 crore allotted in the last budget. What we did is that there is an increment of 160 crore rupees to Sports Authority of India. But where it goes, the Sport Authority of India is using this particular money for the flagship Khelo India that has its allocation slashed to 657 crore from 890. Earlier it was 890 crore rupees for program called Khelo India. Now it's been slashed to 657. So there is a difference again and reduction. So if these types of reduction will continue, that is somewhere 200 to 60 to 30 crores of rupees reduction were reduced, get reduced because of this. And if this reduction is there, it will hamper, it will directly affect sports, sports event, and sport infrastructure and sports people, those who are coming uh, for getting training either at either through this flagship program or through SAI also. Move to the next. The amount was reduced to rupees 890 crore from 3 to 9 crore to rupees. Again, a result, the budget is been allocated, and from 890 it's been reduced to 327.77. Assistant to National Sports Federation, however, has been increased by rupees 35 crore. This year budget is 280 crore, while last year budget was 245 crore. So again, what I was actually referring is we are trying to build up an institutional body, and we are forcing more towards spending towards them. But once we are spending towards these, that is sports academy or sports federation or committees, it is directly not actually supporting sports activity. It is not directly affecting sports people, the personalities, those who are actually or sports person or sports either men or women. So this particular funding or the method of funding is not properly utilized for sports activities. Annual calendar training competition for national team preparing for Tokyo Olympic has been approved by but any change in plan would require more funding. If NSF, National Sports Federation, are given some additional funding in this unprecedented time due to pandemic, it would be a big support for archery. This has been proposed by archery. It is always good to have more fun in Olympic year. Recently, we got rupees 20 lakh for international exposure for CA Bhavani Devi, as she is on the verge of getting Olympic quota and currently training in Italy. Since she plans to stay in Italy for a long time, it would be good we get additional funding apart from approved annual competition come training calendar. Associations and bodies are asking our country or our department that we should get more fund during Olympic time, as we required more training, more rigorous training uh, for these sports mortalities, but it gets reduced. If you compare this annual budget allocation for Ministry of Youth and Affairs, that is with sports, can you zoom it? It is 1,400 crore, 1,943 crore in the year financial year 17, then 18, then 19, it is 2,196, then 20, 2,216, 21, it is 2,826, and 22, it is 2,500. Although there is an increment, that is 1,400 to 2,500, 1,100 or so crores rupees have been increased if you compare it for last 5 years or so. So, but you can get in that during the pandemic, this has been reduced, and uh, authorities, peoples, or the sportsmen charities, they get affected because of this. Move to the next. Scroll here. In comparison, if you compare India with UK, okay, India is spending somewhere 3,200 crores on youth affairs and sports through union budget. The states, according to estimate from our review of sports. The same union budget funds through the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, NSF, that's National Sports Federation, and potential Olympic athlete through National Sports Development Fund and Target Olympic Podium Program. Through federation, through various development funds, through various development podiums or programs, we are supporting to Olympic. But the NSF is also funded through private organizations and public sector employer. In India, 750 crore was spent on sports specific federations. We are spending 750 crore rupees to these federations for training centers, for coaches, and for infrastructure over 4 years. Only this much we have spent it from 2012 to 2016. While the spending on athlete is very less, that is 22.7 crore through NSDF and rupees 38 crore through a TOP program. 97 athletes for 2016 Olympics, excluding Paralympic athletes over the last 4 years. Very few, very less number of athletes were trained under these programs with very less infrastructure and the financial support. The number of recognized national sports federation has come down from 57 to 49. Although this gets reduced in the year 2016 number of federations, and the funding has been also fallen over the last 3 years. It gets reduced, and because of this reduction or the chunk of reduction, uh, we get less number of training, we get less number of sports personalities to come in, uh, and thus it is affecting the medal tally in final, that is during Olympics. Of the amount spent on sports infrastructure and coaching, only 8% is spent on special coaching to athletes. Only 8%. Of the 109 athletes sponsored by NSDF, only 30 made it to the official contingent of India at Rio de Janeiro in 2016 Olympic Games. You can very well define, you can very well identify how less it is. 119 were supported, only 30 made it to the contingent during Olympics. Move to the next. Lastly, if you really compare, um, uh, 97 athletes were funded in the top program, 68 made it to the contingent. So again, while 29 didn't. So compare, we are targeting, we are identifying certain number of players, we are funding towards it, and that particular program is being funded also. But uh, once the final contingent is being prepared, or the final list of our sports personalities or sports people are is prepared, down the line we get very less number of sports uh, personalities or sports people to make it final to the any of the Olympics. The rupees 22.7 crore spent by NSDF on potential 109 crore Olympic athletes translate to rupees 5.2 crore per athlete. It means if you go do a backward integration, for per athlete, we are spending somewhere 5.2 lakh only. If you compare it with previous one, athletes under top schemes received rupees 9.8 lakh every year, including cost of training centers and coaching fees. The Indian Olympic Association received donations from Reliance Jio, Edelweiss Financial Services, Amul, Tata Salt, Herbalife, Lining, SBJ, State Bank of Jaisalmer, India's first medal winner in Rio. Sakshi Malik actually thanked JSW Sports, a foundation funded by OP Jindal Group, a conglomerate with interest that includes mining and power. But uh, this is in nutshell the reason behind uh, why we are getting less number of medal tally, or the funding is very low, funding is very less, it's been cut again and again. Uh, at the end, the sports personality or the athlete is not getting the exact benefit out of it or exact profit out of it. Um, whatever or however uh, the money is being spent by government departments, authorities, ministries, this is not been utilized uh, by athlete people, and that is one of the greatest concern and one of the greatest reason that India didn't make it to more tally in Olympics. Khushi, now you can close it. So this was actually today's detailed discussion on why we didn't make it to that medal tally, although we are 130 crore people, and good number of youth is actually uh, on roads. If you see exercising daily in the morning, preparing for different sports, but still because lack of facilities, still because lack of infrastructure, and because um, the utilization of that fund, which has been actually sent by government ministries and departments, is very minimal if you compare it with sports and the sports people. So that is one of the reason because of which we are getting less number of medals in our Olympics. Floor is open to you all. You can also conclude your sessions or conclude your pointers on this. Today we were having this only, that is uh, uh, discussion on Olympic, and tomorrow we will be having a session offline at my center. So rest,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, I think that it was necessary to cut down the budget of sports in 2021 because India was facing a pandemic at that point in time, and basically it was also having the tense situation with our neighboring countries. So it was necessary to give more preference to health and the defense sector instead of sports, sir.
See, it's not the matter of that is neighboring country or threat or the defense sector. The money is allotted to each and every sector. The proper utilization and proper utilization of that money, firstly, and that money should reach to the target beneficiary in good numbers and good amount. That is more required. You know, the contingent number of contingent remains the same in each of the Olympic. It is not increasing. Somewhere 10% or so only is the increment in that. But the utilization, if more number of governing bodies will be there, you will be paying out to those governing bodies as a salary we are putting on that particular budget. If you compare, if you go to the my previous slide, that is the first line I have mentioned, that this much money is being allotted and this much money out of this is being spent as a salary to the people, those who are in those uh, committees or in those organizations, which is not at all required. If you really would like to actually spend budget, the proper budget allocation and proper spending on sports, you required more to be spent towards sports people, towards coach, towards training, and towards the training centers. That is more required actually. Not that we are asking more federations to come in and take money as a salary for that. It is not at all required. Okay. Yeah, due to pandemic, the reduction was there, but utilization, proper utilization of the funding is major reason for this. Any other suggestion? Request all to switch on your video so that I can have a pic. And tomorrow we will be meeting at offline in our center to discuss on and take on internship. And now from tomorrow onwards up to 25th, we will be having an offline session. I will tell you the dates and timings also. When one will be the offline and when will be the online. But from tomorrow till 25th, we will be having more number of offline sessions, even the visits also. Team leaders, anything from your end? Nothing?
So tomorrow we'll report at there only, na?
Haan,
9
here
a.m.
only. Yes, yes, yes. Saturday will be online. Khushi Srivastava, Saturday will be. See, tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, Saturday will be online.
So these 3 days, every day we'll have offline.
Offline. Monday, usually we are in the plan of doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday offline. Okay, but today is Tuesday. So what we will do is Wednesday,
Sir,
Thursday, Friday we will be doing offline.
so this is for this week only, na?
This week and next week, of course, up to 25th we will be doing offline also. So for each of those, I think 2 weeks are left out. So 6 days are offline out of these, from today to 25th. How many days? Today is 11th, 12th.
The 12th.
Well,
So only 13. In between these 13 days, only you need to come some three,
7 days, I think.
6 or 7 days. That's it. Then again we will switch on to online, and complete team meeting will be on online mode only. Anything else from your end? Okay, so let us close for the day. Uh, enjoy your weekends, coming weekends, and do prepare yourself for what you call assignment. Do prepare the assignments. Okay. Do
Sir, we have to present our assignment, sir.
no, you need to post it there on
So
LinkedIn.
what's last date?
Team leaders, please make him to understand what exactly the assignment is. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Best take care. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.